come back to.
Somebody's been. Could go either way, really.
Good Lord.
We are recording.
Thank you. Waiting for Verizon time.
It's quiet.
I turned the music off.
What is off?
I turned the music off.
Jonathan.
Julia said I was being too loud with the 80 tunes.
Never.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Warsaw Town Council. I'm going to call the meeting in order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Thank y'all. You may be seated. Good to see you. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Doing well.
Council, first order of business tonight is to approve our consent agenda. You have it in your packet. I'll entertain any edits or a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Those opposed? Very good. The next order of business, council, is a joint public hearing with the Warsaw Planning Commission. How we're going to run this tonight, since we have 4 topics, is we're going to open up the joint public hearing. I will read the notice for the particular topic. We will open it up for public comment on that particular topic. We'll let the Planning Commission have a chance to talk amongst themselves and to decide to recommend or not. Then I'll turn over to council for comments, and then we will come out with that particular point and we'll go into the next item. Council will not take any action until we come out of the public hearing. That sound good? Any questions? All right. So I'm calling a joint public hearing to order with the Warsaw Town Council and the Warsaw Planning Commission. Molly, does your committee have a quorum?
We do.
Thank you. First thing I'd like to do is read the first topic of the evening, the public notice. Mr. Questenberry, was the notice advertised in accordance to law?
It was.
Notice is hereby given that a conditional use permit is petitioned by Midtown LLC to allow for a mixed-use development of limited commercial and multifamily dwellings on tax map parcel number 16A15A, further identified as 5373 Richmond Road. The property is R12 Residential Office Zoning District, which requires a conditional use permit and public hearing for such mixed-use development, combining limited commercial with multifamily dwelling. The Warsaw Town Council Planning Commission will conduct a joint public hearing at a meeting on Thursday, August 14th, 2025, at 6 p.m., respectively in the Warsaw Town Council Chambers located at 78 Belleville Lane, Warsaw, Virginia 22572. Following the public hearing, action is anticipated. A copy of the existing zoning ordinance and proposed development are available at Town Hall. Questions or special accommodations to attend the public hearing should be directed to Mr. Questenberry, Town Manager. Okay, that is the topic. Before we turn it over to the Planning Commission, Mr. Questenberry, I wonder if you just frame it a little bit.
Sure. This is to reestablish an application request for a conditional use permit for multifamily dwelling and a mixed-use commercial. This is located at Midtown, at their development there on 360. And this will be the front parcel. It will have commercial on the first floor and residential on the top 2 floors. Again, this is just to reestablish that permit since it has gone past the 24-month mark, which is in our code that it is no longer, it's void at that point. So it's just to reestablish this.
Is there anyone here in the public that would like to speak to the Midtown project? Okay. Planning Commission, I'll turn it over to you to discuss.
Yes, sir.
Gregory
raised
his hand.
State your name and your address, Cliff.
Jane Clifford Mullen, 8351 Historyland Highway, Warsaw, Virginia. I was just trying to catch up with where you were because the agenda you have tonight is a little different than what was published, and that's all I was trying to find. The Midtown subject, I think, my comment is that I had seen in the original plans about this, what was proposed on it. And myself personally, I'm very excited to see that this is now coming together to be done. And it's unfortunate that the time has gone by, that Mr. Packard has to come back to the town to ask, for the extension of this. But for me personally, I think it's good to go forward with this next phase of it.
Thank you. Mr. Pack, did you want to say something? Please.
Can I hand this?
Yes.
This is actually a sign that I would like to put in front of the property. I've had it in my shop for 2-3 months, kind of waiting to put it out.
We can share.
This is an actual rendering of.
Looks nice.
Yeah, we're gonna share.
That's the original rendering that I had was more of a watercolor kind of cartoonish. So I had a different rendering done to be able to put out in front of Midtown to start soliciting for retail. Really don't need to put signs out for residential, but for retail, I want to start knocking on doors and advertising for that. So I figured I'd let you see. And hopefully the sign that I've finally completed, thank you for your patience, but hopefully it, I just wanted it to be just right. You can see if you were watching during construction, it changed multiple times, but we're finally completed the sign out front.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, since there's no other public comment on this particular topic, we'll close the public comment for this issue, and we'll turn it over to Planning Commission for you to discuss it amongst yourselves. If at any time you guys would like to cease discussion and recommend a vote or not, please do so.
Everybody,
Well, Molly,
thoughts?
this project was brought before council some years ago. And Gregory successfully built the 2 apartments. Looked great. And I think they all rented. And it was his intention in the beginning to build this 3rd phase of it. And as we know, over the last several years, the economy hadn't been real good to invest a lot of money. But things are coming around, and Gregory said it's time to do it. And I think it's going to be a great asset because there's no office space in town. None, hardly to rent. And this, in my opinion, will bring in more commerce, more small businesses, professional offices that we need.
Anybody else?
I agree. I think it would be a great addition to that property. This rendering will look fantastic sitting there.
So I think that this project probably needs to be finished and done. We've been waiting 5 years for it. The only concern I have with Gregory's project coming up is that when he builds the rest of the projects, the other one that's going to be approved, or probably will be approved, is we will have five three-story buildings in our community, which we have no ladder truck for. I know we've been said before Essex County will allow us to use their ladder truck, but suppose that ladder truck is out of service. That puts a lot of people in danger. So just something to consider that we need to do some upgrades to our fire department, or we need to change the three-story buildings.
Anybody else? I kind of agree with the fact of, I think it's going to be good to have more, office spaces available in center to town. We know everybody's always looking for another place to rent or something, the housing with the people coming in, teachers and everybody. And it was approved before, and I think that, we're in a good way with our economy that I think we should recommend to go ahead and let it go through. Everybody else agree? Disagree? You're good?
You need a motion on
I think so, yes.
this. If there's no other comments, which I don't want to, I will make the motion that this third phase, is that correct by saying that, be approved, and wish Mr. Packard the best of luck with it.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No. All right. Mr. Mayor, I think we are ready to make a motion to move forward, or recommendation to move forward and go with it.
Thank you. All right, so the Planning Commission is on record for recommending to grant the conditional use permit. All right, council, we're going to go on to item number 2 for tonight. It's a public hearing, and I will read this particular notice. Notice is hereby given that the conditional use permit is petitioned by Packard Reynolds LLC to allow for proposed development of 2 multifamily dwelling units totaling 48 apartments on tax map 16A4A parcel 71, further identified as 6324 and 6326 Richmond Road. The zoning district is R12 residential office, which requires a conditional use permit and public hearing for the proposed multifamily dwelling construction. The Warsaw Town Council Planning Commission will conduct a joint public hearing meeting on Thursday, August 14, 2025, 6 p.m. respectively in the Warsaw Town Council Chambers, located at 78 Belleville Lane, Warsaw, Virginia, 22572. Following the public hearing actions anticipated, a copy of the existing zoning ordinance and proposed developments are available at Town Hall. Mr. Questenberry, was the notice advertised in a legal manner?
It was.
All right. Would you like to, a couple comments framing the topic for us?
Sure. Do you want to do this one?
Yeah, that's totally fine. This particular project is located at the 6324 and 6326 Richmond Road. Initially, a conditional use permit was submitted, and it had gone past the 2-year time frame. So again, this is just up for a renewal of the conditional use permit, and then, of course, another site plan review. This proposed development would be 2 3-story apartment buildings totaling 48 units. There's 10 existing apartments on the property currently. The acreage of the parcel is about 5.3 acres, well within the R12 density requirements. I don't know if Planning Commission or you have any questions in regards to that.
And again, this is just a reissue for a CUP that expired.
Correct.
Right. All right. Thank you, Missy. We'll open up for public comment. Is there anyone in the hall that'd like to speak to this particular topic tonight? Mr. Packard. We're going to switch it up, Cliff. We're going to go with Gregory first.
Thank you. So this project as well, as along with the other, one of the big holdups was with DEQ. As of Friday, the 8th, I have a DEQ approval, which was a great day, successful, Mr. Howarth and myself. On this, it's kind of global, so it's kind of concerning the next project as well, but back when this was approved, it was half-price water and sewer. And I wrote a letter to the town council, I don't know if it's been received or not, but requesting, because of, it wasn't due to my negligence or yours, or it was just a permitting process that expired. And so I'm moving forward. I wasn't going to do these. I was going to put it on a back burner and do Rhodes Place. But as you can see what's coming up, I said, you know what? The takedown rate after doing studies is going to be like 10 years. And I'm at a different stage in my life than I was 20 years ago. And I'm like, I need to cut that back and just finish what I've started. So that being said, I didn't remove any of the amenities over there. I know that doesn't have anything to do with this project, but it was a request of mine that I would still be able to have that half-price water and sewer for the economics of the project, well, for all of the projects. But I've always put, you can see, any incentives that I've been given with the town, I've always put them back into the project to make them nicer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Packard, the council did receive your letter, and we are taking that up a little later in the meeting.
Thank you.
Cliff, would you like to speak on on this topic?
Let me do this before that. Comments on this project, I see what Mr. Packard has gone through on doing this. It's unfortunate for him again that he has to come back on the renewal of it. We've talked a lot about the growth here in the town, and the thing here about adding these multifamily dwellings, I think again is something that the town has been wanting to do, and they obviously approved this from the beginning, and I feel like that it should be considered to continue with. The two comments I would make on it are that if you recall about the three-story structures, these buildings that have been built have got sprinkler systems in them, which from my personal side, I've looked at what they have as far as the pump systems and what they have for coverages, and I have not been in the apartments, but they have protection that should be adequate to help homeowners that are living in that third story. I understand the concern about the ladder truck, but I feel like that if he has gotten this done and put in it with the insurance that's needed to accept this and make it, I think we should take and consider that, safe for the building. Now, on the other side of it, I realize what the town, well, I'm addressing this to the council, but I should be addressing this to the Planning Commission. I realize what the Planning Commission has tried to do in the past, what y'all have done as far as extending, Mr. Packard, these I don't know how you say it, these half charges on the water and the sewer. And I realized that this was something that was to his advantage to want to try to get into this and do it. And my personal side of this is that the town has gone, ways to try to make this offer to him. And it's unfortunate that the DEQ has pushed it off and made it where it's run out on him, but I feel like that for y'all and for the people of the town, we can only give so many privileges, and at some point, we've got to go back and ask for full benefit of it. And I don't know whether I consider that should be extended again, but that's just my personal opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else in the public like to speak? All right, public comment on that item number 2 is complete. I'll turn it over to the Planning Commission to discuss the conditional use permit and to form a recommendation vote.
Thank you. Anybody have something regarding this one?
So I'm kind of like in a rock and a hard spot, because this property where he's going to build is directly behind my house. So we're talking 3-story buildings that are visible from my back window, and when it's built, the lighting and people walking through my yards will be a huge disturbance. They already walk through my yard now and steal stuff. So I'm proposing that council and planning commission make the recommendation that he put up adequate fencing and trees around the perimeter to keep that out, because lighting is going to be just like Fort Knox. You're in 3-story buildings, so you have plenty of lighting. It's right at my back window, right at my neighbor's back windows. So I don't have a problem with moving forward because we need housing. I'm not against that, but I do think we need to consider some type of buffer from all those houses that he has sitting in the middle of.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to speak on this topic. This conditional use permit was considered and granted. As the town council knows, we've had our battles with DEQ too. And with DEQ, there's no one to answer to, no one to call, it's their word, and that's it. So they make their mind up what they're gonna do. Now, these apartments were proposed before, and it's not, my opinion, it's not Gregory's fault that DEQ held him up. Anybody's project could be held up by government agencies, because there's so many hoops to jump through. Just like the town well situation. DEQ said we had to have a new well. The well's fine, but we gotta do it. That's it. Same with Gregory. DEQ said you gotta do this. You gotta do it. So, my opinion that this conditional use permit be extended or renewed and let this project go. The lighting, I understand what Belinda is saying, could be a problem, but that could be adjusted. I mean, the town, Joseph and Missy, will look at all of this. I'm sure they're not gonna let those become a burden on the citizens that live around this. You know, that's not gonna happen. But I don't see no reason to stop this project, because we need homes for people, somewhere where they can live. Because a lot of people can't afford these $400,000 and $500,000 homes. But they need a home. They need somewhere to raise their families, their children. So, I'm all for this.
Chris, any thoughts?
I'm just trying to, my eyes are straining here, trying to look at these little drawings.
Yeah,
But
but they were a little bigger for us half-blind people.
It does look like there was a concerted effort to keep a wooded line area around the back of the property that are close to the houses, and a fairly large piece of field there that's not too close to the other properties as well. So I do appreciate that aspect of it. And, you know, with the new lighting that they have now, it's, you know, they're more the LED lights and things like that, and then more downward facing lights. Hopefully that won't be an issue. But I agree with you. We definitely need the housing, and it's becoming more and more of an issue. So I'm definitely in favor of it as well.
Daphne, any thoughts, or are you good, or?
Good.
Okay. Can I get a recommendation? Does anybody want to make a recommendation?
I make the recommendation that we go ahead and renew the CUP for this project.
I'll second
Yeah, so there's a motion and a second. Okay.
And all those in favor?
And all those in favor?
it. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Good. All right, Mr. Mayor, I think we are good to go to recommend to move forward.
Thank you, Molly. Okay, council, you've heard the discussion. The planning commission has recommended this item for CUP renewal. There was some discussion in the planning commission about attaching an amendment to add, I think the words was appropriate fencing and a tree line. Any thoughts on that?
I agree. I think a tree line. It put it as a condition, because just saying you're going to do it doesn't mean you're going to, you have, if you put it as a condition, it has to be done. And I'm not talking about some little bushes, I'm talking about something that gets up in height a little bit.
Okay.
Well, the original conditions the first time around, were there anything like that?
I believe there was.
There was provision the first time, wasn't it? For tree line.
Any other discussion, council?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, there was a tree buffer.
There was a tree buffer included. Okay, so really, the tree buffer's there that would serve that purpose ideally. So there would be that, but there would be a,
I mean, there was,
fencing.
right, there was not a fencing requirement.
There was not a fence requirement.
Not on the original. On the original.
All right.
I think that should be added.
So only part I'm confused about is we're saying lighting is not good, but we want to tree line and fences so people can't pass through. I would say lighting would be good if you want to see people walking through your yard.
Okay, so if you put trees up and you don't put a fence up, they're just gonna duck through your to the trees and walk through our properties. Is that
Yeah, I
what
don't
they do
disagree,
now?
but why would the lighting be bad? If that, usually people put lighting up, police put light up to deter people from coming.
Yeah, but you don't want the lighting coming through your windows into your house. I mean, I get a lot of that at my house, and I don't have that many people around me. But the businesses across the street from me, they do, but the front of the house is lit up all the time. But we sleep in the back of the house, so.
Yeah, I have the plan approval, the review, and we did require a tree line buffer. But like I said, I was just confirming, I was reading through the notes, so.
All right, so it's really just a fence issue or not?
If we put ourselves in Belinda's shoes, living in any of those houses where she's at or around there, would you like people coming through there? I mean, if you're coming from those apartments and you're going into town, which way are you gonna go? Through somebody's yard, right? And you're talking about 48 apartments back there. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There'll be trails through the yard where the grass is not growing. So
Mr. Mayor,
that fence is not a bad idea.
Mr. Mayor, may I say something?
You may?
This about people walking through the yards could be handled real easy with a simple signs that say no trespassing. And I'm sure our chief of police would honor that and take care of it. Now, you might think that's a joke, but, signage works sometimes.
Sometimes, but not all the time. I
I
respectfully
know,
disagree
but-
with that.
Still,
All right, so let's wheel it back in. All right, council, when we come out of session on the public hearing and we take up the items one by one, this will be a topic we'll have to resolve when we're going to add a fence requirement or not. So be thinking. Okay, moving on to item number 3. In accordance with section 15.2-2204 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended, the Warsaw Town Council and Planning Commission will hold a joint public hearing on Thursday, August 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the Robert W. Lowry Municipal Building located at 78 Belleville Lane to consider the request of Warsaw LLC to amend their previously approved general development plan and rezoning application Phase 1 for the proposed Rodas Place and Broadus Creek subdivisions lying between Wallace Street, Route 360, Route 3, or tax map parcel 16A 4A 48, 16A 4A 59, 16A 4610, 16A 4A 77, 16A 4A 79, 16A 4A 80. The proposed modification consists of the reduction in overall density by 66 residential units, specifically removing all planned apartment units and replacing them with additional single-family dwellings. Following the public hearing actions, anticipated copy of the existing zoning ordinance and proposed development are available at Town Hall. Mr. Questenberry, has this been advertised appropriately to the law?
It is.
Yes. All right, Joseph, just frame it for us real quick. Or Missy, which one?
Yes. So the original approval was granted for 321 total units, which consisted of a mixture of single-family dwellings, age-targeted villas, and apartment buildings. The amendment before you tonight is to strike the apartment buildings and to add more age-targeted villas. So it'll reduce the total residential units from 321 to 255 total units. And as you can see, I know it's a little bit small, but up there near Wallace Street and stuff where the apartments were originally at, those are now the age-targeted villas in lieu of the apartments. And it looks like that is the only modification, Mr. Packett, is that correct? All the trails and the amenities and everything else is the same. So.
All right, so we're essentially adjusting the plan from a 321 units to 255 is the number?
Correct.
And we're eliminating the apartments and moving to the age-targeted villas. Okay. I'll open it up for public comment on this particular topic. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this topic? Well, if you can forgo your name and address, we know you. I'm still putting a timer on you.
Okay. I'm not sure what the need for this change was. The original thing about this was, to have housing for the town, and this is gonna take housing away for 66 people. And I'm not applauding that. My comment would be that Mr. Packett has looked at this and considered the economics of it and looked at what it is for him to be able to do this. He has left in the amenities that were going to be in this town area. And so his wisdom and knowledge in this building part of life, I'll concede to and ask that the town consider this and accept it and approve it for him.
Thank you, Phil. Anyone else? Mr. Packett?
So this may be the only time you ever have a developer come in to reduce the number of units. I had to think really long and hard about it because it is not very lucrative to go backwards. But I was trying to do, one, what was best for the town and what was best for me in this stage of my life again. But this plan also did away with a hard road between the two, which eliminated 200 and some feet of roadway through wetlands. It also changed the entrance to 360 instead of coming through the Rhodes Place Enchanted Forest. That would be an emergency exit. And these will now be state roads instead of the internal private roads. And so, again, this reduction did not reduce any of the amenities. If I had not asked for this, I would not be asking to continue the half price on the other. I'm trying to scrape up from everywhere to still provide this really nice project with less density. There is a little cheaper cost by doing away with the roadway things, but not enough to offset 66 units, which would approximately be, from a developer standpoint, roughly $6.5 million. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else from the public like to speak on the topic? All right. Mine would turn it over to you and the Planning Commission to discuss the modification and form a recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right. Does anybody have some discussion on this, or how do we feel about this? Any changes we need to make?
Gregory, how many actual entrances is going to be entering into the total project?
The total project would be
Three.
and that emergency one.
That would go,
That's existing on Wallace Street.
okay.
But originally, 168 apartment units, we're gonna be using Wallace Street.
Okay.
So now nobody's using Wallace Street.
Right.
Which I think was a huge factor.
Right. So one entrance would be on 360 Richmond Road,
Correct,
and two would be on Road 3.
correct.
Okay.
But the subdivisions do not connect by road.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I saw that on your plan.
Anybody else? Can I get a motion for a recommendation?
I'll make it motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, Mr. Mayor, we're ready to move forward and make that recommendation to proceed.
Thank you. All right, Council, you heard the Planning Commission talk this over. They are recommending a approval of the modification from 321 homes, eliminating the apartments, down to 255. Is there any discussion on our end? Okay. Moving on to the last and final public hearing topic for the evening. I know you're all getting really tired of hearing my wonderful voice. Notice is hereby given that the conditional use permit is petitioned by JDR Properties to allow for a proposed gas station and convenience store on tax map parcel number 17-33G, located at the corner of Community Park Drive and Route 3 Bypass Road. The property is zoned C1, limited commercial, which requires a conditional use permit and public hearing to authorize the aforementioned use. The Warsaw Town Council Planning Commission will conduct a joint public hearing at a meeting on Thursday, August 14, 2025 at 6 p.m. respectively in the Warsaw Town Council Chambers, located at 78 Belleville Lane, Warsaw, Virginia 22572. Following the public hearing actions anticipated, a copy of the existing zoning ordinance and proposed development are available at Town Hall. Mr. Questelberry, once again, has this been advertised appropriately to law?
Has been.
Thank you. Would you like to frame the topic for us?
Ms. Cooks.
Sure. This particular type of use in a C1 zoning district requires a conditional use permit. JDR Properties has outlined their proposed development and addressed certain concerns, which has been provided in your packet. As you know, it's located over on the bypass road. I don't know if JDR Properties wanted to speak to this evening at all, but I'll let you speak on the topic as well.
Okay, thank you. Let's open up for public comment. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? Jeff, we're going to give you a chance to chat. Cliff?
J. Clifford Mullen, 8351 Hill Highway, Warsaw, Virginia. Looking at this and what's being proposed on it, at first I was kind of wondering how this would fit in, but then thinking about the traffic that goes down this road, my two comments are that first, I like the idea and I think it should be approved at this level, and if I'm understanding how this works in the town, that this is an approval on this level to go back to JDR Properties and tell them that we're interested in seeing what you would like to propose for this, and then approval of it for construction or for the further use of it comes about at that time, and that's what we really need to see, the nitty gritty of it. The one thing that I would like to see included in this, and this is from my past history, is that I'd like to see that when they do this, that they consider this to have the availability to tractor trailers to be able to access it for fuel. It's several businesses, one particular, Wood Reserve, Stella Jones, that's right up the road, that would have a good opportunity to use this. Not that I'm suggesting that this to be a truck stop, but that they make it be something that's accessible for tractor trailers to use for fueling. But I suggest that you approve back to JDR Properties for them to present back to you their proposal on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on the topic? Ms. Howell, if you'd like to come up. Just for the record, Ms. Howell, state your name and address and what you'd like to speak to us about tonight.
I appreciate the offer. Jeff Howarth. I'm the actual J in JDR Properties. Dawn, my wife, is the real brains of the operation, and R is for Robbie, for those of you who don't know him. To what's there. Mr. Balderson brought up some very interesting points. I appreciate his support of the idea, and I do appreciate the fact that he thought forward to talk about truck fueling. But as we've tried to evolve through this project, that condition's going to solve itself automatically, because it takes basically a semi truck to bring the fuel supply in. So he has to be able to, if you look at any other big convenience stores. He has to be able to get in and navigate, and he really technically has to kind of stay out of the way of the car traffic, because that's where the bulk of that money is made. But it's very obvious, and this is part of what Ms. Coates was alluding to in the justifications and the explanations that we put in. Having a facility that you can actually, and this is conditional use, so you could put conditions on it. I'm going to suggest that you allow it out there where it is to go 24 hours a day, and that not be a condition, because you have a EMS building that technically runs 24 hours a day. You know, they're not out all the time, but they do go out in the middle of the night. And when big storms come in, the power company right across the street from us, they would be probably ecstatic to think that they could get hot food, they could get ice, they could get sodas, you know, whatever that's there. And we're also thinking about making sure we could, you know, the convenience store operator could fuel fire trucks from the new fire station. Because at some point you'll end up with a ladder truck, a snorkel, you know, some big piece of apparatus. It would be nice, and he's a semi-size, it would be nice for him to be able to get in and get out as well, to what's there. I didn't even think about what Mr. Balderson said. You've got Stella Jones, you know, down here on the other end, you know, and where they may be slowing down on some wood products, they're speeding up on the production of poles. I understand from them that they provide most of the power poles in a 3-state area, you know, right out of this facility here in your fine little town. So, other than that, we don't anticipate out where it is, we don't anticipate any problems with noise, any problems with lighting. You know, we'll landscape it just as the code requires, which is going to be some landscaping. There's a piece, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Coates, there's a piece of R18, I think, right next to it. You'd obviously want to see on the final site plan, what Mr. Balderson was alluding to as the final product. You'd obviously want to see maybe a little landscaping there, you know, when that parcel develops. But rest of it, certainly, you know, we know what it is. It's a recreational access road that's out there. A lot of people come in and out. You know, the little kids would probably like to have Slurpees and, you know, whatever. You know, there's a seems to be a well-made market around there. You know, back to the 3 before me, you know, Mr. Packett, I see a lot of rooftops, you know, and the potential for a lot of rooftops. Those rooftops are going to want the things that you're going to want. They're going to want those services. You know, we're not completely electrified in cars yet, so we'll still sell gasoline. You know, there's still junk food for little kids before we make them play ball or soccer, you know, whatever goes on down there, you know, 3/4 of the year. And it brings in, those rooftops bring in other things that you all are thinking about as far as development, you know, possibly new retail, possibly new grocery, you know, there's so many things that those rooftops will do for you. Unless y'all have any questions for me or Dawn, I think I probably said enough.
Do you have any questions, or Mr. Howell? Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Question, Missy,
Yes.
or Joseph, whichever would like to handle it. In the CUP approval process, do we need to stipulate tonight if we approve it for the 24 hours, or do we go back and address that when we get closer to the project?
It would be handled this evening.
I'm sorry?
It would be handled this evening. You would have to indicate whether or not.
With the CUP?
Yes, the operating hours, yes.
Very good. All right, Planning Commission, Molly, you've heard well, hold on. Got ahead of myself, apologize. Is there anyone here from the public that would else like to speak? All right, public comment is over.
The public comments for these topics?
For the gas station. All right, Molly, I'll turn it over to the Planning Commission for y'all to discuss and form a recommendation.
Thank you, sir. All right. Anybody ready to talk about it? Got something to say?
Yeah, me again.
Yeah, go ahead. You always have good points, so.
Where's the driveway coming into this project? Would come in? Off of what road, off of?
Community park.
Community park drive.
All right.
We
Emergency.
got Tom right here, he probably remembers that project very well from his VDOT days.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeff Howell, if you didn't recognize me, but I recognize you.
Yeah.
But it'll come in off
Yeah.
the park. You're supposed to be 225 feet back from an intersection for the current VDOT.
Understand that.
The
Understand that
emergency
totally.
services, right?
Yeah. I think, you know, when I first heard about this, I had mixed feelings about it. But about seeing this and listening to Jeff, you're talking about tractor trailers coming in there, and like you said, there's gonna be semis in there bringing you commodities for the store and the fuels to go in your tanks. So, you know, it's gonna have to be arranged so they can get around in the lot, so that's not gonna be a big issue. And you were talking about Stella Jones, well, how many semis have to take the bypass? Nearly every one of them coming through town that's going on Route 3, they have to take that bypass. So that's more truck traffic. And it's only two places in town that get diesel fuel with a semi. That's the Exxon and Little Sioux. That's it. And I would not want to try to get a semi out of Exxon where the road is. So I think this whole idea and location is going to benefit not only the part of the convenience store, but a lot of other industries. You've thought this out. So, you know, I ain't really thrilled about the driveway on Commons Road, but it is what it is, and it's a way to get in there safely. I understand that. And this traffic on this road is seasonal. It's very little traffic on that road after Little League season or after the county fair. So it's a great location, traffic-wise, especially if you plan on trucks coming in too. So I kind of like the layout, and there was some thought put into it. And as you know, a semi just don't get 25 gallons.
Exactly right.
Yeah, usually it's several hundred in a tank, so.
Yeah, I have one question, Jeff or Don. In what you've proposed here, it doesn't say whether the 24 hours would be like the convenience store. Would that be the convenience store as well as the pumps?
The convenience store as well as the pumps.
Okay, so it wouldn't just be a self-service, like, okay.
No, it's, the thought being that because, and I can't really put a name to it, so I'm going to apologize for that right up front, because there's several people that are interested. I don't want to advantage or disadvantage anybody in the negotiation of this. But most of the operations that you could typically envision there do operate 24 hours a day, and they make, I mean, I have to turn a corner at Sheets, and I'm not saying this is Sheets, but I have to turn a corner at Sheets, and I've done it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've done it at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's cars in that parking lot both times.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't allude to what,
Yeah,
you just said that the other businesses in the area, you know, operated 24 hours. I just wanted to make sure.
The pumps
they
can
did.
be accessed with a credit card.
Right.
And you can do the whole transaction with
Right.
walking into the store
Okay.
to what's there. But, you know, the gas is sold at a little bit of a discount, and the products are sold at a little bit of a premium.
Oh, okay, planning commission, I just wanted to make sure y'all had read and knew what the proposal,
Yeah.
okay.
Anybody else have thoughts on it? Thank you.
At first, being a Little League coach, being down there a lot, seeing that where the entrance was, at first was like, it's not a good idea. But the more I thought about it and having the convenience of, especially if it's going to be 24 hours, which I do, I like the idea of it being 24 hours. Because also being a Little League coach, by the time we're done doing what we need to do, the concession stand's closed. So can't say the number of times I've had to go to Dairy Queen because the concession stand was closed. So, but also the location, like everybody else has talked about, is a good location for that aspect of it. So I'm definitely in favor.
Linda? Anything? Good? All right, can I get a motion to move forward and approve, or?
Make the motion to include the 24 hours if
You want
that's
that
intended.
included? All right. I will make a motion that this project be approved and stipulate that 24-hour operation also be approved.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, Mr. Mayor, I think we're good to go with moving forward with the 24-hour.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you, sir.
Council, you heard the public comment, you heard the discussion of the Planning Commission. They are in favor of recommending the CUP with the aspect of allowing the 24-hour operation. Discussion? Council, you all are quiet tonight. All right. All right, we're going to come out of public hearing. Council, let's talk about taking some action. On topic number 1 was for the conditional use application by Midtown, the renewal. Planning Commission had recommended approval. Council, is there any other discussion?
We've approved it once before, so I don't see, and then of course we got the recommendation from Planning Commission. To go back to the 3 stories though, what was their discussion before? Somebody remind me. I mean, it meets code. We got sprinkler systems on the 3rd floor. I don't disagree with Belinda. I'd love us to have a ladder truck, but I guess we gotta go to a county meeting and talk to them next budget season or something. It's more of county than town, I think. We're not gonna supply a fire truck. But I like the idea. Something to talk about with the county next year, so. That's the only discussion points I heard from
Okay.
the public and the planning commission.
All right. Anyone else? Council, do we have a motion to approve the CUP as presented?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, item number 2, conditional use permit application by Packet Rentals to allow proposed development of 2 multifamily dwellings. These are the apartment houses. The Planning Commission did approve for recommendation, and we have to decide whether or not we want to put a caveat on there to some sort of fencing or not.
I'd like to add that as a condition. That a barrier or fencing be put to prevent direct access to neighboring houses.
So that it would be the residential houses that directly abut,
Right. They'd have to go all the way to the end of the fence to go around it.
but not all the way around the property. Okay. Counselor, any thoughts on that?
Can we just get specific with that, which, I mean, so like are we talking about northern to Jenkins, Stevens, Packet Builders? Are we talking? I'm just trying to see it in my head. That's all.
There be an alternative, an alternative to putting, I know you can put shrubbery, use a shrubbery as a fence line where people cannot go through it or cut through that. I mean, just in the thought of cost-wise, if that would be enough deterrence, you think, to block foot traffic?
Ralph, I can just tell you that university I went to, they had stuff like that up, and students there'd be paths through it. People, as soon as somebody started to go through it, it just wear down, and eventually they'd get through it all. If you have a weak spot, I don't think that alone would do it. It'd have to be awful close together. I mean, which would probably cost you more than putting a fence up.
I'm concerned if somebody really wants to go take a shortcut, that they'll destroy part of the fence, or just find a way.
I mean, that's what they did. They just,
Yeah, and then you have a eyesore instead of thick bushes, and,
And people tear up bushes.
people are gonna, if people want to get somewhere, they're gonna get somewhere. A natural barrier would be, I think, look a lot better.
I mean, I personally, talking about a situation like that, is
Got it
that
now, not the backside. Got it.
I have not seen any of the residents that's moved into these apartments. I've not heard or seen of any kind of destruction or anything like that going on, and I can't imagine, people would abuse somebody else's property that way. It happens, but I just haven't seen it in the structures and the apartments that's been built so far to have anything like that to happen.
Well, but there's no place for them to be going through somebody's yard to get to anything in those apartments. And we're not talking about deliberately destructing it.
No, I'm not saying
walking through
deliberate,
it.
no, I'm not, but.
I just know if I lived there, I'd want some kind of barrier.
Mr. Packett, I wonder if you have any thoughts on the matter?
So, I proposed one in front of the town center with the college, 15 years ago. It looks nice, it's been there. I've spent thousands of dollars repairing that fence because of the damage done by the neighbors. The college side, limbs falling on it from their big pines. On the other side, rocks hitting it from the lawnmowers, and I'm constantly fixing it. Never once has it been broken from my side. And the problem I had at the college was actually the college students coming over to there, not the people in the apartments going there. The fence that is currently there, because I did the same thing there, because it was years ago, I put a fence up behind the houses, because that's what I thought would be good. Looking at the fence coming down the road on 360, that side of the fence has holes in it, it's mildew, it looks bad. And to circle it all the way around would make it like a prison. So when this was approved before, in lieu of the fence, I was doing a berm, which I have already started, and I shouldn't have, or whatever. But to actually raise the elevation and make it difficult to get over with trees and plantings, which would cost me more money than a fence. I'll be glad to do the fence. It's the cheapest way. But I think it's not appealing. And if we do the fence, there should be something that says, whoever damages it, fix it. Because it's going to get, people don't respect your fences on the other side. That's my thoughts.
Well, it's so the two options are, I guess there's three. We do nothing at all. We just approve the CUP as is. We approve it with a language to require a fence, or we approve it and just reinforce it with the burn and the trees and elevation like Mr. Packett has spelled out. What's your thoughts now, Council?
And Glenda's still, what do you think? This is
Well,
literally in your
I'm there.
backyard. What do you
there.
think?
They come through my yard, they steal my lanterns, they've stole gas. I've seen them come through my yard while I'm sitting in the car talking, telling me that's a shortcut to the Packett properties, put up to the apartment, get the buddy to get them gas. I sit in the car, I sit there, they come back after I already done told them they're trespassing. And they still do it all the time. Gases was stolen out of my lawnmower. So, I mean, there's numbers of things, and you have no control of who your tenants are and who they're not until you live there and see where people are walking. People walk through my yard all hours of the day and night.
Thank you, Belinda. Chief? Sir. What's the history been on calls and complaints?
I'm not checking any recently, or in the last year.
Have you observed any trespassing or anything like that?
So we have to go back on the call history, but I don't recall anything recently.
Okay, thank you.
Like the last six months.
All right, council, we heard from a resident. Thank you, Belinda. We've heard from the contractor. Thank you, Mr. Packett. What's your pleasure? It's not a perfect answer.
I'm trying to figure out what direction they're coming from. So they're coming through the front, and I guess Belinda can only answer this, to go over the berm. I mean, what's going to stop them from still coming through your front yard? Or are they coming through over the berm into your
Have you
backyard?
looked at the berm? You see how it looks really bad?
We're not talking about that.
I'm trying-
Right now, we're not talking about cosmetics. We're talking about stopping people from going in your yard.
No, but, I mean, there's should be
So my
something.
question was, are they going over the berm or not? Anybody answer this?
It's not done, is it? I mean,
No, I get it. It is cosmetically not pleasing right now. I agree with you, Glenda. But I imagine it's going to have grass and then trees and such.
Yeah, I mean, we've.
So I'm asking,
required
I guess,
that.
how are they getting into people's yards from the existing apartments? Are they just coming over the berm, coming to your yard?
So, okay, I'll use this as an example. When my dog gets out the house, I don't walk through my neighbor's yard to go looking for my dog. I walk down the sidewalk. I have enough courtesy, or I let my neighbor know I'm there before I do it. People walking in and out of my yard don't let me know, oh, I'm walking through your yard to go get gas.
And they're coming from
And that-
behind you
and
over the
that-
berm?
Yeah, they literally come from across the street or come and walk up the street and walk through my yard because it's a shortcut. And I tell them it's not a shortcut. And even they walk around the berm because the berm's still got space there to walk around.
And one could argue that happens on College Avenue or.
okay. Any further discussion, council?
I do want something there though for her.
All right. Well, is there a motion to be made?
Make a motion, we go on with this, with the conditional use permit and add the condition of a fence being put up on the property between the property and the property owners that are already there, the house owners that are already there. Just an stretch through there.
Is there a way to amend that? Have we done anything in the past that if it's, I guess we couldn't put an amendment in there that if it's damaged by someone else, I guess, Gregory, you just have to file a police report and get somebody to fix it and let's
I
do
don't want
that
anything
that way.
like that, just that that barrier.
It's a valid point though.
That's my motion.
Council, we have a motion to approve it with a fence requirement. I would suggest maybe if that's what you want to add, Paul, you might amend it to say something to the point where it abuts the residential line. Joseph?
The existing.
Yeah, we can do that.
Along the edge that faces the property
Adjacent to,
already.
yeah, single-family dwellings.
Yes.
So council, we have a motion for a fence option. If,
Can I make another, can you make another motion
Another
concurrently?
condition?
If it don't get approved.
If his
we have to deal
doesn't
with
get
the
a
motion that's
second.
on the floor.
Okay,
So if this motion doesn't go
Okay.
forward or fails, we can entertain another motion. So we have a motion for approval with a fence that, with the residential line. And we have a second? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
no,
Nay. What's the count?
I don't know.
Down to 4.
Ayes? Raise your hand, ayes?
Paul, Mary Beth, and Daphne?
Nays?
Bobby, Jonathan, Randy, and Rebecca.
All right, the motion fails. Rebecca, did you have another
I
motion?
make a
in mind?
motion to have a conditional permit for the berm and the tree line as the developer has proposed.
I'll second that.
That's sufficient?
That works for us.
Sufficient, yes.
We'll put that into our planning review.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Unanimous.
Okay, going to our third item of the evening, which was reducing the eliminated departments out of the Broad Creek project, going from 321 housing units to 255. It's a modification, what's already been approved. Is there any further discussion on this?
I like everything about the change. Change of not using the entrance to
Same.
on Hall
Same.
Street and
Same.
and sticking more to the residential houses.
All right. Anything else? Do I have a motion to approve the modification?
So moved.
A second? Second. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Those opposed? All right, we're moving right along. Item number 4, the gas station CUP with the caveat of operating 24-hour operation. Council, what discussion do you have?
I don't have a problem with the 24-hour operation, 7-Eleven for 24 hours. I believe it is.
No, they're,
They're like, I think they close between 2 and 5.
yeah.
They're open at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know.
Okay.
'Cause
I'm
I go
not-
by there every morning. I think, are you
I mean,
sure?
they're not- well, they're
I
not
thought it
supp-
was changed when they changed ownership and that something else. Now, the thing you gotta remember is, I shouldn't say this, that, there is no police presence during part of that 24 hours.
It's only county.
So, I mean, that's something, you know, that they need to think about.
Okay.
That's what we want to go through.
Any other comments? All right, Counselor, is there a motion to approve the CUP as presented with allowing the 24-hour operation? Need a motion?
Move.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Those opposed? Thank you all very much. Planning Commission, you are welcome to stay. All right.
You're not supposed to be.
Okay, we are back in the regular session of the Warsaw Town Council, and we are there for public comment. Is there any public comments left in the hall? Cliff, step on up.
Jay Clifford Mullen.
I don't remember your address, man. 81, what?
Do you want me to say something?
J. Clifford Mullen, 8351 Historyland Highway. You write it down. Warsaw, Virginia, 22572. First, speaking for my wife, in the front entrance here to your facility, you have a nice green vine plant growing out. Hanging baskets you have around the town. Every time we drive through, look at that. Look at that. I love those. So I want you to know you got her approval, everything about whatever that green vine is, it's growing in the baskets.
Sweet potato vine.
Excuse me?
Sweet potato vine.
Sweet potato vine. I'll write that down and tell
They
her.
actually have, there's a sweet potato
Big
in
old
there.
potatoes.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You better not tell me that, because I'll be out there
Don't be digging them up.
around in those baskets after a while.
We'll give you what's left at the end of the season.
At the last session that I spoke to you, we talked about the benches around the town, and I had suggested that the bench that was placed at the bakery was very appropriate, nice, and was very heavy and hard to trim underneath of, and that if pavers might show up there, it would be a good idea maybe that somebody would help me put them underneath of it. Well, the pavers showed up, and when I went back to cut the grass, a couple days later, the pavers were all underneath, and I thank you very much for doing it. And again, I think that addition there was just a further example of what y'all are doing to help to beautify. I don't know if beautify is the right word, but
We'll take it.
beautify the town. And which brings to the negative side of beautification. I mentioned also to you about Mead on Main, about the roof painting. And every time I cut the grass there at the bakery, I turn and look across the road at that roof and wonder when we're going to see something done with that roof. It has a very, maybe that's part of the artistic work that's being done here in the town, and I just don't appreciate that piece of art. But the roof just doesn't appeal to me in the artist way, which goes to the side of the, what was it? What is it called now?
Big City Diner.
Yeah, the diner. I like the bird. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else who'd like to speak this evening? All right, public comment is over, and we're going to move rapidly through the reports. I will retain my comments as we go through. Town manager report, Mr. Questenberry.
Yes, good evening. My report's a little abridged this evening because most of our items are in action items further down the agenda. Again, just to reiterate the mural project, I think it turned out really great, and we've really had probably the best, most positive reaction to anything since I've been here. I want to thank again Mr. John Merle for his amazing work, and already trying to get him lined up for next year on the side of 74 Main. So hope to work with him again. Economic development update, we're currently working with a national industrial commercial firm to identify space for new construction in town. I held a meeting with the county administrator last week to discuss the addition of land to the Commerce Park, allowing for enough acreage in an appropriately zoned area of town for this potential operation. So again, hopefully the county will be working to purchase some additional land so we can get a really large 20-acre manufacturing distribution facility in.
Do we think that still has legs?
Oh, yeah. The representative of the client is on emails constantly. So we're really trying hard. Again, it'll come down to the county negotiating a purchase with an adjacent property owner, but we're here for support as well. Council retreat, I'm pleased to have worked with Versa, which is our insurance provider, Virginia Risk Sharing Association, to offer our inaugural, well, since I've been here at least, council retreat, and free of charge to the town, actually. Mr. Peter Stevenson will be hosting this for us, and he brings over 35 years of local government experience, both as a town manager and as an elected official. During a portion of the retreat, he will host town leadership and department heads in a collaborative session where we work together with you on shared goals, vision, and how we can continue to work to make Warsaw better each day.
Is he the same gentleman that came to us a few months back with the FOIA education?
No, no. I think you'll really like him. Really nice guy. So I'm looking forward to that. And then lastly, upcoming events for Friday's concert series is next Friday, August 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Town Park, featuring Trademark. Then we have our community market. That's every second and fourth Saturday of each month in the Warsaw Town Park between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And we now have live music again for every market. And then item C is a little special, a celebration of life of Bill Northern. That'll be at the Warsaw Town Park this Saturday from 2 until 4. Everyone's welcome. It was one of his last wishes, and he wants you to bring your pets and everything and just come over and have food and have a good time.
It's nice, very nice.
So that's all I have.
Bill's a nice man. Is the music in the market doing anything?
Yeah, it brings people back there. They sort of want to see what's going on, and so now they're patronizing the vendors. We've been low on vendors, and then some days we'll have 15, and then some will have 4. So it's hit or miss, but the music even just adds ambiance to downtown on a nice Saturday.
I like the idea, just haven't been able to attend one.
Yeah, it's been really nice. I like it.
Any question for town manager?
I got 2 things. First of all, in the letter you sent to us about the retreat, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been on here since we never had a retreat. You said we hadn't had one in recent years. We haven't had one.
Wow, I'm excited to rip this Band-Aid off then.
Second thing, what kind of music does Trademark play?
Very similar to Soul Expressions.
Maybe it's too late, but maybe it's not. You might, if we advertise on RAR or something like that, you may have their music playing in the background or something if they give you something to use, because I think that everybody talks about how great the first one was.
Yeah.
And every year, if they know what kind of music it's going to be, I think it would bring a big crowd.
I'll put it on Facebook and actually delineate, here's what they play, here's some of their music, and a link to, I think they have like a link where you can listen to them. Yeah, I'll put that on there.
I know they'd like to have a big crowd there, and
yeah,
people probably be willing to give you a few
We're
clips.
also having, we have several food trucks, and also there'll be a cruise in too. There'll be some
classic cars.
Classic cars
Good.
also featured in front of Oyster Shoals. So.
I'd get it, maybe public, RAR doesn't announce it, it's something coming up. They'll do it for you.
Community calendar, yeah.
Anything else? All right. Chief Peterson.
Good evening, Town Council and Planning Commission. Welcome. Just want to say it's an exciting time to be your chief and to hear all this development come in this little town. As an outsider, I very much enjoy seeing all this. So much so that my significant other is putting together a proposal for the town that she's going to present soon for a potential eatery. So ground us here in Warsaw a little bit longer. Just pretty brief because I know it's nap time for some. True, I lost my our monthly activity report is in your packets if you have any questions on that. Pretty busy month in July. And I don't want to brief you guys on grants, but I'll post that till next month. But just want to say that we have a great team in place right now at the PD. Since I've been here almost 2 years now, it's the best we've had. And I'm really excited to work with them and see all this development come in and do all the exciting things. Any questions of me?
Questions for the good chief?
It's going about good.
I could comment for him too. Your report, I like it in the form you're putting it in. It used to be just numbers out there, but we can see in each of the areas that's,
Yes, sir. The good lieutenant prepares that every month for me now, so if it's wrong, it's my
I don't know
fault.
about being wrong, but it's if it's his first time doing this one, or I don't know, but I just realized this time, this is very well done.
We're trying to provide the most informative information we can. If you want us to add things, we can, but just a brief, well, not brief, it's 2 pages this month, but
This is great.
it's much that we can see what's going on. And of course, if you have any questions, want to narrow it down. Some things we can't talk about, obviously, in a public forum, but any questions you have, anytime, we're available.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Director of Public Works, is he still with us?
Still here. Good evening, all. I'll start with our treatment plant. Monthly numbers, average daily influent flow for July was 188,400, an increase of 8,700. Maximum influent flow for July was 272,000, an increase of 23,600. For July, our average effluent total nitrogen was 1.89 milligrams per liter. Average effluent total phosphorus was 0.16 milligrams per liter, both well within the limits of our permit. The treatment plant permit requires an additional testing for fecal coliform for the month of July, 1 test per week. All test values were below the maximum allowable limit. Treatment plant effluent samples for the month of July met all requirements as to our permit discharge limits. Moving on to water department. Water loss report for the month of July, still at a 2% water loss. Also took a HAA and a THM sample at the YMCA. Both results came back absent. All of our water and sewer right-of-ways were cut this past month. We did experience a service line water leak in College Avenue that has since been repaired. Refuse department for the month of June, we made 15 trips to the landfill, totaling 116 tons of trash. Sadly, we did have to put out a job for a new trash truck driver. We did receive a little over 80 applications.
That's great.
We did narrow down to 5, and we selected one, and he will start this coming Monday, the 18th. Public Works Maintenance, staff assistant with Monday and Thursday residential trash pickup, water involved hanging baskets and stationary planters. We did replace a lot of American flags this past month, a little over 20, so that was good. And also helped with movie night on Main. That's all I got.
Any questions for our Director of Public Works? Thank you, Jess. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, council committee reports. Did any committee meet? I don't believe anyone did. Okay. Planning Commission, I think we know what's going on, Daphne. Is there anything you want to add? Thank you very much. Northern Neck Regional Jail Report, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Yeah, you got in your packet the breakdown of population. Let's see my notes. That's one. At the meeting, there's 2 things on the agenda for business that we dealt with. One, and it was approved to send out RFP to find a company to look for a company that could lead the jail in ways to reduce utility costs with the savings to be put toward capital projects. And the second item was the updating of our policy on prisoner escapes. It wasn't a whole lot of changes to that, but it was approved.
So the utility reduction piece, that was approved? Is that
No,
what you said?
to send the RFP out.
I got you. Okay. Any questions for our Vice Mayor? All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, moving to old business. Missy, update on 74 Main.
Yes, I think I've addressed in another meeting that we had to redesign, or Dominion had to redesign our electrical upgrade, so they needed to set a pole outside to bring the service to us, and a neighboring property owner would not give us the easement, so it had to go back to the drawing board with Dominion. That electrical upgrade, they have done a redesign, the work order was released. Mr. Cassone, our contractor, is currently working with Dominion to obtain supplies that they are supposed to provide to us. He has to install the CT panel inside 74 Main, which should be completed in the next 7 to 10 business days, at which point the county needs to do an inspection and release the job to Dominion. So we have had a few setbacks as far as trying to get that redesigned, because nothing can really be installed. The HVAC can't move forward in the power that we need for the building. The contractor can't proceed until that's completed, so.
So I've spoke to several council members, and council is getting, shall we say, tired of the project not moving forward. We've had several negotiations to try to resolve the matter, and in 7 to 10 days, if we're not at the point that we need to be, I'd like to see options of exercising our right to take the bond.
Will do.
Council, is there any questions on 74 Main? Well replacement project.
Yes, so we successfully applied for what they call the FCAP grant, which is a Financial and Construction Assistance Program. This is a new grant offered by Virginia Department of Health. I have a feeling it came from the City of Richmond's water crisis. The General Assembly allocated $26 million to address water systems across the state. And so the very first day it opened, we got the application in. It's for a 75% grant, which would be $1,046,250. And then for the 25%, we can also finance through them, and they are a 1% interest rate less than the prevailing interest rate. So fingers crossed that we get this, because that would be huge for us.
Y'all land that, there might be a bonus for you guys.
Well, I'm gonna make some calls and see what we can do.
Y'all gotta keep your jobs.
Yeah, that's a wonderful bonus. Thank you. Yep. So we got that in right now, and fingers crossed we should hear. They said it's a quick turnaround, so hopefully y'all know.
Great.
Yeah.
Any questions, Cal? All right, DHCD housing project. I see a couple invoices in here.
Yep. So very excited about this. I included these because this is, again, Missy and I discussed it a lot. It's one of the most intrinsically rewarding programs or grants we've ever done. These are for the total, the demolitions and the purchase of new homes. So you get to see the home on Belleville, Belleville Lane, was $147,000 through Clayton Homes. And then the one on Meadowbrook as well was for the same price. And so the owners get to pick out the colors they want and the layout of some of the house, and it's just super rewarding, and we're really excited we get to do this. Yeah, so we're it's going to be, they're supposed to hopefully be in these new homes by Christmas. So yeah.
Outstanding news. Any questions, council? Okay, new business. First on the list is the water and sewer connection fee waiver request for Mr. Packett for Revere Station. You heard him comment earlier on the topic. It was approved once before. It has sunsetted. I can't remember exactly what his letters say, but no fault of his. DEQ and other things. So he's asking if the town has the appetite to renew the waiver of 50% on the water and sewer hookup fees. And yeah, so that's the question.
What size meter, what size connection would you need, 1 inch or less than that?
Well, that would be 48 or 49.
That's the one behind Belinda.
3/4, okay.
the regular one.
I have to think about that.
I think it was 130 something.
So altogether, if it was full price, about 130.
No, full price more.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I think full price is, I wish I brought that with me.
I should have brought
I think it was 200 some thousand, close to 300, but by half, it was still, I was still paying 130 some thousand.
So you'd be waiving approximately $130,000.
Discussion? Thoughts?
Well, I think Gregory has certainly stepped up to the plate in bringing homes to this community and to this town, and I feel as though with the projects that he's taken on so far, we backed him and stood behind everything, and I personally think, that with these waivers, if everybody would consider this waiver, again, it was no fault of his, no fault of ours, it just happened. And we were gonna offer him the half-price connections before. And that would be money instead of putting it in the meters, because over a period of time, they're gonna pay for themselves. But over the period of time and with the money that he is not having to put into this can go into the building of these homes and these projects and putting it into the landscape and putting it back into the project itself for beautification and facade. So I think we ought to consider it and go forward and grant him that 50%.
I agree with Ralph.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew if we were getting this grant or not, because, if we got that, I'd feel more comfortable about doing this, because, that is cost of doing business. And it's not our fault either that it didn't come up, in the first year. I mean, we're taking his word for it, that's the thing. But, if we got to pay for that new water tank, then we need every dollar we can get from it, because that water and sewer has to pay for itself. Okay, we can borrow money and then, but we still got to pay for it out of water and sewer, not out of general fund. Okay, so if we're giving away half the money that we get from it, okay, now then I think our citizens will end up having to make that up if we don't get that grant. I hate to make that decision today myself, not knowing what's happening with that.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Is anyone comfortable with making a motion to approve the 50% off water and sewer hookup fee waiver for Revere Station?
I'll make that motion. Go ahead, Ralph.
I'll second.
Okay.
Got a motion, we have a second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Just one.
Mr. Packett, get busy. Okay, thank you, everybody. It's been a long night. We're almost done. Item number B tonight, zoning subdivision DMO ordinance update. This one kills me. RFP consideration, schedule ordinance committee meeting.
Yes, so we did get two companies of interest. One came in at 108,000 and the other was 115,000. So since it is an RFP and not a request for bids, you don't go with the lowest, you go with the most qualified. So I need the committee to meet to review those proposals and to make a recommendation for next month to council. And that committee is Jonathan as chair and then Paul and Bobby. So what I could do is just email you all and we hash out a time. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do that, and we'll get it on the books, and we'll make a recommendation for them next
And
month.
I'll give you all copies before you leave of the two, so you can look at them.
Wonderful.
All right. Okay, anything council members want to bring up tonight?
Nothing to bring up, just Missy, Joseph, can we put on the agenda for next month, maybe just a discussion on we talked about the whole basketball court thing several months ago, so we bring it up. Just talk about it, say if we're gonna make any movement on it this year or not. Put it off to another fiscal year or just something.
Okay.
It's kind of just been sitting there.
Anyone else? Final comments, Bobby, you can kick us off.
Yeah, I'd like to encourage everyone, if you can, to come to Bill Northern's shindig on Saturday. I knew Bill for about 30 years, and we should set an over and under on how many times the word unique will be used, or unusual. But there's going to be a live Dixieland jazz band that his daughter Kathy hired from Fredericksburg, I think. They're really good, from 2 to 4. I'll be there. Maybe somebody will bring a horse or two on Bill's in Bill's honor. I agree with what Cliff said about the plants around town. They're amazing. They're just absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like it. You know, so whatever's going on, whatever we're doing, just keep going.
All right.
And yeah, I don't really have. Oh, Joseph, at one point we mentioned something about a 360 landscaping upgrade.
Yeah.
Is that still something that's?
Yeah, good memory on that. Actually, we meet Tuesday with Friends of Rappahannock. So we got a $150,000 grant to beautify the medians coming into town. So in front of McDonald's, all through there, put in beautiful landscape areas and look really nice. So
Nice portrait of council on a sign, maybe?
yeah, it'll be maybe yeah. Well, we could do.
So, anything else?
No, that's all. Thanks.
Bobby, to your comment, Robin France has helped us with the hanging baskets and everything, recommending flowers. And
Okay.
she's been doing that for about 2 years now. And just a shout out to
Yeah.
Robin. We really appreciate her expertise and kind of helping us when something doesn't work. She's right there, providing another suggestion for the flowers. So,
They're impressive.
yeah, great, thank you.
Since we're lucky enough to have the planning commission with us tonight, let's hear some closing comments. Molly, anything you'd like to throw in tonight?
I think that it was a great discussion with everybody from, the planning commission to you guys, and being able to speak your voice, and that's what it's all about, to come together and work together as a team, as one. So great job for everybody, and just glad to be in Warsaw.
Thank you, Molly. Ralph?
I think we had a very productive meeting tonight. I'm trying to think, as all the years that I've been with planning commission and with council, I don't remember ever having so many public hearings at one time.
Let's not do it again.
A lot going on, and a lot to be seen in the coming months and I guess few years. So look forward to the growth and look forward to seeing this town continue to grow, and hopefully we can keep making good decisions and make it a great place to live.
Chris?
Great meeting. Excited for the future. I remember moving here in 2006 and telling my family I moved to a ghost town. So it's great to see everything that's going on, and just happy to be a part of it.
Dad?
As hot as it's been, I'd really like to take just a quick minute to send out a big thank you to the trash collection guys, because that is a thankless job, and it has been sweltering over this past month. So big thank you, and if we are missing any of those hanging baskets in town, I think we know.
Ms. Forrest?
Yeah, I would like to reiterate what Paul said about the water and sewer connections. Now, I understand in the beginning they were granted. That's for y'all's decision, not mine anymore. But I would like to say, within the town area, there's a lot of extremely old infrastructure that if someday, it might be even tomorrow, we don't know, it's gonna fail. And there's got to be money there to repair it. And the water and sewer is it's not private, but it's a separate entity. It cannot be financed at the general fund. And the way water and sewer finances projects is by grants, loans, and connection fees. That's the 3 sources of money for infrastructure. So I just want the council to keep that in mind when they make decisions on these fees. And again, all due respect to Gregory.
Thank you. Linda?
I don't really have anything to say.
All right. Mr. Beckett?
Great comprehensive meeting. I agree with Molly. That's the way town government should look. From the attendance to the conversations. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody.
Mary Beth?
It's so nice to see the planning commission tonight with us, join us. And very good planning. We did very good for the whole thing. I'm so proud of the town. Let's keep going, Warsaw.
Mr. English?
Yeah, I concur with everybody. I'm glad to have the planning commission here. I know we got a lot of events going on in town. I want to throw one more out there. I know Julia will like this. Saturday, August 16th at the Richmond County Little League, 4 to 7:30. They're having a Sandlot Fun Day with a movie. Bring kids, grandkids, everybody come on out.
All right. Mr. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, is there anybody in the old Verizon building there in town? Is that being used for anything?
There's still technicians. It's a CO office, so there's always going to be like a handful of
So
technicians.
Basically just gonna be the building there and a few people there.
Yeah, I don't, they,
'Cause it's just,
that's a CO.
it's beautiful right in front of that. And all the, I mean, the
switchgear
brick,
still
the
holds
flowers
in
and
it.
everything, and just to have nothing in there, it seems like a waste.
I think it's a tremendous amount of
Oh.
electronics.
Well, it is, because it's a, what do they call it, a bank, duck bank or whatever is under Main Street. It's very important
Yeah.
building, so, for sure.
Okay, anything else? Good meeting, everyone. I'm sorry for the length of it. I hope it flowed okay for y'all, but appreciate everything that you do. You're all paid very well to be here. So as everyone knows, you volunteer your time without pay, so feel good about that. Feel good about that. And we are done for the night, guys.